Did Julius Malema really break down in court and declare himself the sole breadwinner for his family? The EFF leader, known for his fiery speeches and bold political stance, reportedly showed a completely different side during a recent court appearance. According to sources close to the case, Malema made emotional statements about his financial responsibilities that have South Africans talking. Drop a comment below and tell us where you're watching from, whether you're in Johannesburg, Cape Town, Durban, or anywhere else in the world. We actually reply to every single comment because we want to hear what you think about this story. So here's what happened. Julius Malema appeared in court recently, and the proceedings took an unexpected turn. The EFF commander-in-chief allegedly made statements about being the sole financial provider for his household. Now, before we go further, we need to understand why Malema was in court in the first place. Reports suggest this was related to ongoing legal matters that have followed the politician for years, though the exact nature of this particular appearance varies depending on which news outlet you follow. What caught everyone's attention was the apparent shift in Malema's demeanor. People who followed his career know him as someone who doesn't back down easily. He's the guy who's challenged presidents, walked out of parliament, and made headlines for confrontational statements. Seeing him reportedly take on a more vulnerable tone in court raised eyebrows across the country. According to people who were in the courtroom, Malema spoke about his financial obligations. He allegedly told the court that he's responsible for supporting his family entirely. The statement came up during discussions about his assets and financial situation. Now, whether this was a strategic legal move or genuine emotion is something South Africans are debating online right now. Here's where it gets interesting. Malema has never been shy about displaying wealth. We've all seen the pictures, the nice cars, the properties, the designer clothes. The EFF leader has been photographed at events wearing expensive watches and driving luxury vehicles. So when he reportedly described himself as the sole breadwinner struggling with financial pressure, people had questions. Some supporters came to his defense immediately. They argued that having assets doesn't mean someone has liquid cash, or that their financial responsibilities aren't real. One Twitter user pointed out that Malema has an extended family to support. And in African culture, successful family members often carry the financial weight for many relatives. Another supporter mentioned that his wife, Mantoa Matlala, focuses on a family and their children, which could explain the breadwinner comment. But critics weren't buying it. Social media exploded with reactions. People started pulling up old photos of Malema's lifestyle. Someone shared a picture of him at a wedding wearing what looked like a very expensive suit. Another person posted about the EFF's anniversary celebrations and the reported costs involved. The skepticism was real, and it spread fast. The timing of this court appearance is also raising questions. Malema has faced various legal challenges over the years, from tax issues to other financial disputes. Some political analysts are suggesting that this emotional display could be part of a broader legal strategy. When you're facing financial scrutiny in court, showing that you have dependents and responsibilities can sometimes work in your favor. Whether that's what's happening here, we can't say for certain. What we do know is that Malema's financial situation has been under the microscope before. There was that whole saga with SARS a few years back. The South African Revenue Service went after him for unpaid taxes, and it became this massive public spectacle. Malema fought back hard, claiming he was being politically targeted. Eventually, things seemed to settle, but questions about his finances never completely went away. Then, there's the question of where his money actually comes from. As EFF leader, he draws a salary as a member of parliament. But maintaining the lifestyle he's known for on an MP's salary alone would be difficult. Some people speculate about business interests, donations to the party, or other income sources. The EFF has always maintained that everything is above board. But rumor mills in South African politics never stop turning. One particularly juicy piece of speculation making the rounds involves property. There have been whispers about houses registered in different names, trusts, and complicated financial arrangements. Again, none of this has been proven, and it could all be political opponents trying to create smoke where there is no fire. But in South African politics, perception often matters as much as reality. Malema's supporters point out that he's being held to a different standard than other politicians. They ask why he gets scrutinized so heavily when other political figures with obvious wealth don't face the same level of examination. There's probably some truth to that. Malema is controversial, and controversial figures always get more attention. Fair or not, that's how it works. The sole breadwinner statement also touched a nerve because it's relatable to many South Africans. Unemployment is high, the economy is struggling, and lots of people are supporting entire families on one income. When a politician known for living large makes that claim, it can feel tone-deaf to people who are genuinely struggling to put food on the table. We should mention that Malema's legal team hasn't released an official statement clarifying exactly what was said in court or the context. Most of what we're hearing comes from people who were there or journalists who covered the proceedings. The full picture might be different from what's being reported, which is why we're being careful to say allegedly and reportedly, throughout this story. What happens next is anyone's guess. If this court case continues, we might hear more about Malema's finances. Or this could all blow over as South African politics moves on to the next controversy. Given how fast our news cycle moves, something else could dominate headlines by next week. The political implications are interesting too. The EFF has built its brand on fighting for the poor and challenging economic inequality. Having their leader face questions about personal wealth and financial management creates an awkward situation. Opposition parties will definitely use this. The ANC and DA both love finding ammunition against the EFF, and this story gives them something to work with. But Malema has survived controversies before. The guy is politically resilient. You have to give him that. He's been written off multiple times, and he keeps coming back. Whether this court drama damages him long-term or just becomes another chapter in his complicated political story remains to be seen. So what do you think? Was Malema's emotional moment in court genuine, or is this part of a bigger legal strategy? Do you believe the sole breadwinner claim, or does it not match up with what we know about his lifestyle? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, because we genuinely want to know where South Africans stand on this. And if you want to stay updated on political stories like this, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We break down the stories everyone's talking about without all the political bias. See you in the next one.